if you're looking at my screen, let's go to the Indeed. Go back. I'm on Indeed. Let's look at, you are in software diploma, right? So let's look at a couple of courses that we are looking at. This is this course that we are doing, business analysis and design. Go back in business analyst and look for, let's move to, not look at Canada, but let's look at to the closest hub, Calgary. 85 jobs posted in the last, I don't know, 85 jobs are there, right? Let's sort it by date and how many, uh, let's go back just only 7 days. Only 22 jobs are posted for this. Okay. After 7 days, they may have interviewed couple of people or five or three or four peoples. Then it starts to get very clear in their mind that they're not going to hire somebody. If they are unlucky, they have not found anyone. But I usually go by 6 or 7 days or worth of it. Okay. So business analyst. These are some analysis, business analyst jobs that you are looking at. Junior data analyst. So as you can see, some of this information is falling into a data analyst position as well. Onboarding IT analyst. So you have to go through these jobs and description whether they fall on business analyst position, because sometimes these positions are not exactly what you're looking for. Not too many, like 22 odd jobs that we are looking at. But if you look at this SAP change analyst, you are not that. So you can ignore this job. SAP is a software that is a ERP software that people uses, right? Business management consultant, business coordination analyst, business analyst, right? These are these jobs. So the more bigger hub you go to, the more bigger city you go to, the more opportunities you have. In Red Deer, that's not the ideal position to look for this job. Only 4 jobs. Even regardless, if I sort it by date and go by the last 7 days, only 2 jobs. Okay, so you have to be the right fish in the right bowl to be in the right position. So if you don't find any business analyst jobs here in Red Deer, which is literally none, you are not in the right city. You have to move to the right city. Sometimes, let's say this is a remote location, right? So people will not have that many business analyst jobs. So which hub you will go to? Let's say go to Toronto. So now that's, you have to think about when you are graduating, you have to think about what you need to do, where you need to move. Yeah. Oh, it's closed. Maybe just need the go open the record. So let's look at Toronto and look at business analyst job. Sort by date. I don't usually go by remote jobs or whatnot. 668 jobs, 120 jobs in the last one. Better than Red Deer, right? So you can, I mean these, some of these jobs might not fully apply to your qualification, but at least it is giving you more window of opportunity, right? TD Bank senior business analyst. There will be some senior business analyst, some technical analyst, or junior business analyst. But I'm not going inside each of the job right now to look at their descriptions. But particularly business analyst is very close to what you are going to do in this course, right? Business consultant, you name it. You can, I mean, this different organizations will name it little differently, but more or less they will be the same jobs: business analyst, business consultant, data analyst. But remember, data science is not your ordinary business analyst job. It is a little different than data analyst, more or less close to that. Okay, so this is the uh, this is the little bit of overview of how you will find yourself in landing yourself in a business analyst job. Okay, you have done Java last semester, right? 1 month of Java. Java at least requires 6 months to get used to it. Okay, Java is not easy language. It is not. Okay, so the Java that you have learned is nothing. Nothing. So if I go to Java, how many jobs? We are focusing in Toronto now. Okay, so let's go, and we can change it to Calgary as well, but let's keep it there. Software developer. These are very close to what you have done in Java, what you have not done in Java actually, right? So once you are done, you have to pick up at least one language: C Sharp or Java or Python or any language that you have to do. And then the other language that you have to do is SQL, which is coming probably in next semester, right? Yeah, database access management, or you have done introduction to database in the first semester, which is still nothing. So uh, so when you do these kind of researches on the internet, maybe I'll just open it, and please don't close the door now. Yeah, I'll leave the door open for next 15 minutes. So when you do job searching, how you will do the job searching? This way: on Indeed, ignore everything other than 14 days, sort it by date, and then you will have your job searching. Let's go and look at another website, LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile. I'll share you some links with my links and everything. If I go to the job search, right, these are the same job searches that you can do. Business analyst, more or less they are. Oh, why I just selected this one? Okay, but I'm going to change it to Toronto again and search it. Some of the jobs do overlap between Indeed and LinkedIn. Okay, so you will see, you will find yourself that you will find some better jobs and job opportunities here in business analyst as well. Okay, so you will find, and you can see business analyst, what are the skills they are requiring: system analysis, which you will be learning in this course, SQL, and plus two more, whatever they are. You cannot get every possible skill out there in the world, but you will definitely need one programming language, SQL, and this course, the system analysis and design that you're doing, uh, game programming as well, which I will going to teach. You will see that there as well, that there, I will be polishing your skills as a programmer. But keep in mind, this is the most important thing that you can do in your life: SQL. Okay, System analysis and design you will learn in this course anyways, but SQL is the one that you will be learning in next semester. So be serious about that, because that will generate your analytical skills more and more. Okay, so everyone, before they graduate, before 6 months before you graduate, or before 4 months before you graduate, everyone should have their LinkedIn profile ready, polished. And your LinkedIn profile picture should not be standing next to a horse or somewhere with your relative's wedding. It should be a serious picture, right? If it would be somebody, you know, have well dressed or something like that, not a non-serious Facebook or Instagram picture. Okay, and I am going to say that all these other platforms, other than, I mean, LinkedIn, Indeed, I mean, Facebook, you can say, TikTok and all that, I hate that. So don't even discuss about that. So go to just only YouTube and Facebook or uh, Indeed and all that. Okay. So these are the platforms for searching for the jobs. Okay. If your only goal is to become software developer who knows about Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, this is not the right program for you. Okay. So all these are one for the kiddish and teenagers to play. You are doing some serious program. You could be the developer of it, but you should not be a avid user of that. Okay. So these are, so let's look at another question. Sir, should I do, so you are looking at some analysis now, right? And you can see that, should I switch to computer networks, or should I keep? If you are still undecided, you are seeing Java has these many jobs, 147 jobs in Toronto. Not all that apply to you, or not all that I will give it to you, because you are junior programmer, recently graduated. I don't rely on your experience to deal with the clients. So you will have to be at least 2 years, but you have to start somewhere. And yesterday, that's what I was mentioning. If somebody gives you a job after graduation, that please fix the monitors, please fix the laptops, please fix this and this, better job than standing at Tim Horton, right? Yesterday I mentioned that. It's a better job standing at some restaurant and doing pizza delivery. Okay. So accept all those jobs which come to you in the profession. And then once you get that, keep that job. I'm not saying that it will be a perfect job that replacing somebody's monitor or fixing somebody's laptop, but it will give you a headway that at least you started somewhere in IT. While you are doing this in the evening, you can do some other polishing your skills in Java or SQL or any other thing. Keep polishing. And as I said, Java is not 1 month. You still have to give it 5 to 7 more months before you even say that you are at some beginning level or you can do some achievement in it. Same with Python is easier. Python is will be easier. Java will not be. But not all the jobs are available in Python. If you learn Java, then learning Python will be a easy task. If you learn C Sharp or if you learn Java, learning Python will be very easy. Right? So these are some. So let's look at these other. So what we are doing here? We are doing analysis. These are the same kind of analysis that are expecting. So some projects that will be given to you in your workplace will be some team projects. Some projects will be just your manager might say or supervisor will say that it's your baby, just do some research and get back to me the results. So this is how you will going to do some research on some of the. So let's say if I'm your manager and I say, hey, go back to your desk and find me some results of jobs that are available in Java in your area or your locality. You will start saying, sir, in our area we don't find any job. We live in Red Deer. We don't have many jobs of Java in Red Deer, but we do have some jobs in Toronto. So definitely we should hit that market. So if your boss comes and says to you, this is the product that we sell, This is the TV, this is the fridge, this is the product that we are selling. Yes. This is the product that we sell. Can you find, that's okay. Can you find, can you do some research on it that which market we should hit for the most selling, right? Then you will do these kind of same kind of research that where in Best Buy, where in Vision Electronics, where in different electronic stores the most selling is happening. Obviously it will be in Toronto and all those areas, the bigger areas that we go to, the bigger market we are hitting. So these are analysis that you will do. Let's look at, you will have to listen to my recording again, those who just came here, because I'm just doing the same analysis question that you asked me yesterday. Okay, so I'm little into it at the moment. Let's go to a program of network administrator. 201 jobs, sorted by date, date posted, last 7 days, 29 jobs. Computer system administrator, right? But these are the people who are managing the network, who will be setting up the networks, computer networks. If you are entering into the market, you will be entering at the starting position, IT support, IT support technician, IT support specialist. Right now I'm not going to go and look at every single one of them, but let's start with IT support. Let's look at that. How many jobs? IT support, sorted by this. By this time you should be able to know what I'm doing, right? And sorted by date. Computer system administrator, these are some jobs for IT support or IT networks. So there are definitely jobs available, no question about it, for both software and hardware. But remember, computer software is an art. IT support or network is just a repetitive task. Throwing the cables, running cables, right? Configuring the devices, Cisco devices, and networking and router devices and all that. So you will not be, you will get more help about it who has been into these processes, or you go to those. But for software, if you are stuck in one issue on your own, you are on your own. Not too many help will be available, other than you go to some of the platforms where people have solved the problems, right? Stack Overflow and all that. So these are the analysis that you have to do. The way you will analyze that whether I'm in the right program and the wrong program is by doing these kind of researches that I've just shown you. I've just shown you the research on Indeed and LinkedIn, the two most popular platforms for searching the jobs. That's one thing. But the other thing that you have to do is that, as I mentioned, keep in mind, it's an art. Programming is an art. You have to think your mind, what is the next sequence of a step that you are going to put in, whether you're going to be using a for loop, whether you're going to use a while loop, you have to think. Nobody will be helping you on that. But in configuring a router, sometimes the help is available. Help is available from the senior because he has configured the same router in the past or similar configuration in the past. He will tell you how to do these things. Another branch. So there are 4 branches of computer networks. I think I will say, actually, the 10 years ago there was only 2 branches for computer networks, like a network administrator and just an IT support. After the before 10 years, after that, what has happened in the last 10 years in computer networks? Things have started to explode. By explode, I mean lot of viruses started to come out. Lot of security threats are coming out, lot more than it was used to be 10 years ago, right? So what has happened, computer network administrator has was used to come at the job every day, do some networking things, configure some configure some devices, and then he has an easy job on hand, right? That's normal day-to-day computer configuration and server administration. Oh yeah, used to be two things for the networking person: server administration, like the main computer of the business, and running the cables and make network happen. After that, what has happened? That's okay. After that, what has happened? Cybersecurity threats starts to come in. Lot of new types of viruses started to come in. So if I'm the network administrator, I used to do two jobs. Now I have to do three jobs because now viruses are coming. I have to deal with that, right? I I have capability of doing computer networking and handling computer servers, but what has happened? Now the third layer has came to me, which is cybersecurity threats. So I used to keep my half a day to manage my server and half a day to do some cabling and sending emails and whatnot. But now I have a half of my day is busy in dealing with all those viruses and security threats that are happening to my network, right? So then we realized that this network administrator will not be able to do too many jobs now. The third job, which is just came in as a plate, as a granted for him, because he can deal with the security threats, but he needs extra time. He was spending 6 7 till 8 o'clock to just to deal with those, right? So then came a new branch in networks, which is called cybersecurity. Now you are seeing a new diploma program. One is network administration, which is happening here. The other one is cybersecurity. Third one that is coming now is cloud computing. So now the data that was available on your server, which was located in your office, that has to be moved to the cloud. Why it is moved to the cloud? Because my CEO at the middle of the night want to do something for the company. What he has to do? He has to be attached to that server which is in the office. Then he has to drive the car, go out in the middle of the night if he wants to do something important. He has to go out to the network location and do that thing that he wanted to do. Not easy, pretty cumbersome. So what they started doing, bring the data onto the cloud so you can access it from anywhere in the world. So that is a part of a network administrator job. So that means there's another job which a network guys can do. Cloud engineer, cloud computing, cloud, whatever you can select, right? Let's just keep that. How many jobs are there in Toronto? This many, which is still last 7 days, 400, right? So this is how you will analyze your data. Whether are you going to keep yourself in this or not? Look at the money part of it as well, right? So this is cloud, but this is a very general word that I have used, cloud. Now let's look at what we are doing. SQL. It's not a bad, still very good competition, almost the same as cloud. Let's look at that. Last 7 days, how many? Right? So these are the analysis that I'm showing you, that which job and which area to pick up. But remember, they are two different beasts on their own. SQL is a different one, cloud is a different, but you are in a wrong program. If you want to go to the network, if you want to go to the cloud, you have to start with the network diploma and then work your way towards the cloud. If you want to go towards data analysis, data science, machine learning, and all those different other jobs, you have to start with the SQL side of things. They all take you in one direction or the other. One is software, one is the software, one is the network. So how many branches of network that I have just mentioned you? If you go next door, the teacher is delivering the lecture next door. He will tell you how many branches of the networking are there. He will tell you 4. Network administrator, network administrator, server administration, cyber security, cloud computing. Right? These are the 4 branches for those. If you want to choose 2 out of that, I'll leave the decision up to you guys. Okay, but these are the 4 branches that you have. Migration will continue to happen from the local servers to the cloud servers. Continue to happen. There were servers that were made in 1980s, 1980s, 90s, 2000s. Their data, their legacy data has to be moved to the cloud. And when the data is moved to the cloud, it brings the threat of what? Cybersecurity. So then you have to have a knowledge of cybersecurity as well, because you have to keep in mind that any data that is going to the cloud is going onto the cloud with a threat as well. Because if somebody get access to that data, they have to have, if somebody's healthcare data, Alberta Health Services healthcare data, that's not good, because that data has to be secured, right? So that is why networking will not going to be dying, no, and not the software development will going to be dying. You will be the maker of it. The user of it will be moving the data to the cloud. Now, the branches of software development, what it will be? Lot many than networks, right? You have specialty, if I'll say, game programming, business analysis and design that we are doing, data analyst, data science, data engineering. All those are the branches of software. So 3 words that I have used: data science, data engineering, data analyst, all used data in it. Data means SQL. So you start with data. If you go and take a diploma for data analyst, SQL will be a must in there. It will be a must course in there. That's okay, leave it. Okay, so data will be a must in it. Okay, so you will now realize that you will be dealing with lot of data, lot of analysis, and giving answers. And I was saying, last 7 years I was doing programming, but also out of that data I was giving answers to my manager, that why this has happened, why there's a discrepancy in the data. And the reason being, I can tell you, is that why is that? I am the developer, I'm the maker of it. I know how the data is coming into the system and getting out of the system, right? So if there's some discrepancy in the data, the manager, the CEO comes to me and give them the answer. And that helped me to dig into the data and analyze why this is happening. So that why this has happened, why the data has garbage, why the data has issues, and fixing the issues in the data. All those questions will make you as well to go into the data and analyze the sequence of steps. And once you are able to analyze the sequence of steps, oh, this is why it has happened, then you will be answering it back. It will make your analytical thinking more and more clearer, because now you are floating with the data and giving answers to the management. And once you start to give the answers to the management, you are going up. Your level in the data analysis is going up. Now then you will be able to answer that this is why it is happening. So this is the analysis that you will be doing in the data. But for that, you definitely need SQL, definitely. But in some cases, if you are not a programmer or not a front-end programmer, you will not need full-time programming skills. For example, Java probably you will not need. I will not say Python, but you will not need Java in all the cases. You will or C# in all the cases. In data sciences, you will definitely need Python skills. In data analysis or data sciences skills, again, you will definitely need Power BI. Power BI is a tool for which you don't need too much of a programming skill, but at least it will still require some. So I will not take away everything, but at the advanced level it requires some, at the basic level. So then you will say, you will have a sigh of relief saying that this is at least one area of the software where I will not need programming. But if you think that you will be a good in any of the software side of things without learning any programming language, then it's a myth. You will have to have good programming skills to be a good data analyst. Hopefully this is a good enough explanation of what I wanted to explain to you about job requirements. Now it's up to you whether you will be sitting in the class next door tomorrow or you want to sit here. Okay, so software has a lot of branches. Networking has at least 4 branches that I can mention. I'm not a networking student or networking teacher, so I cannot vouch for every other branch that is out there for the computer networks, but I can tell you. And same for the network engineers. If you want to be a good cloud computing or good cybersecurity analyst, you cannot be a good cybersecurity analyst or the network or the cloud computing analyst if you don't know the basics of networking. Because remember, I said to you, where did all the branches evolve for computer networks? The cloud computing evolved from where? Computer networks. Cybersecurity evolved from where? Computer networks. So you have to have a very good foundation in computer networks to be a cloud computing or cybersecurity analyst. You have to have a very good foundation of a programmer or SQL to be a data analyst, data engineer, or data science. All good paying jobs, but you have to decide where you want to go. As I said, programming is an art. Okay, so then you have to learn that art and don't think of it as yesterday, my very first sentence when I entered the class, I said, don't complain if you don't type. If you don't type, then you cannot be a programmer. You have to type. It's a practice makes the man perfect kind of thing idea in here as well. It's a mathematics. It's an art. When you draw a picture on the canvas, it's an art. So you are drawing it. You have to type it. You have to make mistakes. You have to clear up those mistakes, fix those mistakes, and then move forward. That's it for my 2 cents on. I think it will be a very good pathway for you to decide what you wanted to do in your life. Everybody should have their LinkedIn profile. That's a career advice. Everybody should have their LinkedIn profile sharpened up before they graduate. 6 months before graduate, don't jump the gun onto it that I am graduating tomorrow and I'm going to work on my resume today. At least start 4 months before. You have to have your resume ready. You have to have your LinkedIn ready. So you are proactively looking for a job instead of reacting to the jobs. Right? You should have everything ready. Obviously, I cannot expect you to have the level of experience that I have or somebody else out there in the market, which I don't expect. Now, other thing is that I am teaching a lot of other courses here in this program, and I will be teaching database program next semester. I'm hoping you guys will be my student. I'm not sure, but whenever I will be teaching, at that time, I'm not very big on YouTube, or I'm not very big on social media or anything like that. But I have, and I'm not Mr. Beast, but uh, I have made a YouTube channel for myself, and it is a very plain YouTube channel with not a lot of animations or anything like that. And I'm only one man army. I don't have any team under me working, doing some graphics and animation. So I will share with you my YouTube channel. You can also, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but like, subscribe, and all that, and press the bell icon and all that. Yeah, but you can watch all my videos that are related to these courses that I'm teaching. So like for software diploma and all that, you can look at those videos. That will be helpful. um, and I am not that YouTuber that will make a 1 minute YouTube short video and show you that this is how you will do it all in 1 minute. It's like a 30-minute, 45-minute comprehensive videos that I like to share. It's not just like a 15-minute video or something like that. With full explanation, line by line, and that's the way I like it, because it used to be that way. 15 years ago, we used to go through book page by page, chapter by chapter. Then we covered 20 chapters, and then we'll think we have covered something. Nowadays, you just go to a channel, you just wrap up all those videos, and then you even lose interest after watching 10 videos. Because this is the way we have transformed the technology into, that we are not giving time. We are just wanted to learn everything in 1 day, in 5 days at foremost. And Java does not come to you in 5 days, right? For me to learn Java, I learned C, then I went to Java, then I C for at least 1 year, then I learned Java for at least year and a half. Then there's a program for 6 months in my courses, right? Intermediate to advanced level Java. I know you are in this such program where you don't have too much time, but you will have time after you will pass out. So give some time to those programming languages in the evening. So let me share you some of the useful information that you will have. And when you will see my YouTube videos, you will see they are 45 to 50 minutes of one hour, 1 hour 25 minutes video. They are not small. So let's go there. Let's see. I have posted this link for the channel in the chat. So if you want to add a bookmark or whatever you wanted to do, keep it with you. You will see a lot of videos that are not relevant to you guys for this course at the moment, because this is the first time I'm taking this course. Yeah, thank you. But this is the first time I'm taking here, so you will start to see the videos from this course that will be posted here. There are some videos for my son playing or anything like that. Please, if you want to watch that, that's okay. But some of the videos are relevant. If you go to the video sections, you will see uh, tutorial videos for SQL. Okay. So if you go here, uh, last semester I taught some Python, sorry, game programming. So these are some game programming tutorials that you're looking at, and you can see they are not 5 minute video. They are almost touching 1 hour. And then there are some videos that are specializes in MS SQL. You can see these are SQL based videos. As you are seeing, it's a very comprehensive SQL course that I have made as well. So MS SQL, all those MS SQL videos are there for you. But when I will be teaching you this course MS SQL next semester, you will find that I will be going through those same content in the class, so you don't have to worry about that. But this will be a reference for you for the future as well, so you can keep that. And you don't have to necessarily watch my videos, but I like it to be comprehensive. That's why you are seeing it. Somebody can explain this all in 15 minutes, but I have decided to, because I'm doing it in a class, it has to be slow paced. That's how you will learn. All right, so let's go to the real part of the course now. Phase 1 reading we have done yesterday. Okay, I need concentration here, please. Let's start, because I have given you guys to read this page number 1 yesterday. If you haven't purchased the book, please do so, because you cannot survive too much in that without, this is a science course, so you have to purchase the book. Uh, let's start with focuses on the introduction on system analysis, and let's go to the chapter number 1. And I'm hating this, that this book is opening like this in here, but this is the way it is. So now I think when I mentioned to you about information technology, sometimes when I mention that when you will mention to somebody that you belong to information technology, people take it as a computer network guy most of the time. Okay, so information technology, that information technology, infrastructure based or networking based technology. But when I talk about information technologies, computer software, I have to start writing in my resume as well, in the brackets, that this is information technology software guy. I am not the networking guy, because when I talk about networking, people think I can fix my car as well, and I can change the brake pads of my car. It's not like that. I'm computer networked. It doesn't mean that I can do computer network cabling or anything like that. That cabling will lead to fix my car cabling as well. No. So you have to mention that you are a network engineer. You are not a car engineer. So information technology has the branches as well. We have covered those branches today, right? So you have to mention IT software, information technology software engineer, right? Or software side of things, software diploma. The changing nature of information technology. As I mentioned, changing nature of information technology. 10 years ago, there was no Power BI. 10 years ago, there was no uh, data analyst kind of jobs, data engineer's job. These days, we have what? We have data analyst, data engineer, and all those jobs. So this is the nature of the job that is changing. The history of the IT is fascinating by the study of the human progress and achievement. We are dazzled by the latest and the greatest technology, just as our parents and grandparents were astonished by the arrival of television, space flight, and personal computing. So I am not very fond of reading history. So I'll not go about that, what happened in 1960 and 1970. I don't ask you these questions in the quizzes as well. What I ask you is the most current things. Okay? So you will not need to mention what happened in 60s and 70s and 80s. uh, and nobody will, when they will be hiring you in the interview, so you will have to take out the noise out of out of your way and keep working. System analysis and design is a step-by-step process for developing the high quality information systems. Information systems, not why it does not say high quality information technology. It is systems that you are going to study. It is the systems that you are going to develop. An information system is it combines the technology, people, and data to provide support for the business functions such as processing inventory, such as order processing, sorry, inventory controls, human resources, accounting, and many more. So the softwares are not limited for just you go on Facebook or Instagram. Softwares are used by the company's employees if they want to do order processing, inventory control, human resources, hiring and firing people, how to assign vacations and holidays to the people, right? Comparing the asking keeping the employees interest in the company by you managing human resources. So there are human resources software available. Accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, you guys might have heard of it, all of it, right? So all those softwares are being developed, and many more. Some healthcare data, right? Medical equipment machines, x-ray machines, their data, right? If you go for an MRI or x-ray or anything like that, you see those are not operated on piece of paper, they are computers in themselves. So how somebody came up to develop all those devices? They have given the ideas to the programmer that this is what we are doing on the paper, can you transform this on the devices? So they are computers on their own. Cisco devices and all those computer networking devices have their computers of their own inside them. Okay. So we need talent in this. We need a mix of managers, users, network administrators, web designer. I did not even mention about in the software web designing and development. Programmers is a part of web designing, system analysis, and typically develop information system capable. So I'll leave it to you for to read some of the things that I will read. I will just go over the book as a PowerPoint slide and just give you idea. Reading part you have to take care. What does system analyst do? By this time you should have an idea what does system analyst do. They are valued member of an IT department team who help plan, develop, and maintain the information system. Okay, so we will see how we will have to take on the project. So a small task that we do is a small thing. So what is a project? My question to you, what is a project in general? What is a project? Let's say you want to have uh, a roof in your house changed, right? It's leaking for the last 1 year, small bit. How would you go about it? It's a project for you. You will hire somebody who has expertise in that level, but you have to plan it. That would you rather plan changing the roof in the winter, or would you rather plan it to change it in the summer times, spring times, right? That is the most feasible time. That's the another word that I'm using. You have to do the feasibility study. We will see about that. But you have to think about all the scenarios that are happening around, whether you want to start the project, what is the best suitable time to start that project. You have to devise the or think about the priorities of the project. If the project is a priority, If your leak is, if your roof is leaking in the middle of winter a lot, then you have left with no choice. You have to increase the priority of the project, that whenever you have availability, you will immediately start to work on changing on it, right? So the priorities have to be set as well. So as an IT, when you go in a project, there will be some projects that will have a higher priority, some projects will have a lower medium priority, and some projects will have a lower priority. You have to think, if your manager says that this is an ongoing project, but today, let's say you have a different plan, and in the field of IT, you will see this a lot. You have planned something that tomorrow when you will go to the office, you will do these things, certain things that are planned and certain things that are assigned to you by your manager, right? Some things that you have planned, but some days will be the days where things will go out of the plan. Okay, what is that? What are those things? Let's say there is a virus attack in the company, or the computer network is down. Then what will happen? You planned something, but you are not able to work on it because the network is down, or something, or the internet is not working. So your priorities shift, and you take on the shoes of saying, we'll have to work on restoring our network today, or our internet services today. Let's figure out which device is malfunctioning. Let's see which area of the network is, which part of our IT that is getting affected. Let's work on that. So your priorities have to be shifted, right? And then you have to plan that this is how I'm going to approach the problem. So where will you start solving the problem? Let's say the internet is down. Where would you start looking at solving the problem? This is a project to you that I assigned to you this morning. You come into the morning, you thought you will be sending out few emails, you will be talking to somebody about the project that you are working on, but you come into the office and you find out internet is down. Now your project that you are working on is not the high priority. The project that is affecting the whole company is the one that you need to work on. Where you will start? Where will you go? Where will you call? Which channels you will call? Or you'll just go on your chair and just sit and wait for things to happen? First thing first, you will run to the server room, check out the server, whether it is down or not, right? If you are an IT support role, junior IT support or senior IT, you will be following or shadowing somebody, I'm sure. But let's say you will go to the server room, check if the server is working, it's up and running. The UPS, the power batteries, the power supplies coming to the server, does it have that working, right? You will also call the ISP, the internet service provider. You will also check if the TELUS services or the Shaw internet services are working or not. Are they down? Whether the whole company is affected or the part of the company is affected. Some segment of the network is working and some segment of the network is not working. Then it's a more problem. Why some people are working, why some people are not working, right? So your critical thinking analysis, I'm asking you to think here, not just sit on the desk, because the expectation is when you are coming in the field of IT, whether you are coming as a support or as a programmer, and as I said, you will take on any job when you will graduate, at least in the field of IT. Don't reject it. If somebody is offering you as an internship or coming for 6 months as a contractor in the company as an IT support, you have to show your intentions that you wanted to do it. Not saying that, oh, it's not my field. I'm a software engineer and you are asking me to do IT support. I will not accept it. Don't do this. you will be you will have to start somewhere, right? Obviously, probably it's not your liking or not like your job, but you need to start 6 months, 1 year somewhere and do that. So what does the system analysis do? Coming back to that, that was an IT support kind of an idea, but coming back to, he will have to plan, develop, and maintain. So it's not just like that, I am the programmer, I have made it, or my team has made the software, now I have nothing to worry about, it's not my responsibility, I have given this program to the business, business is using it, it's not my responsibility. It does not work that way. If it is, if you have developed, if you have planned it, your team has developed it, it is being used, then you have the responsibility to maintain it as well. You cannot expect non-programmers in your company to fix the issues that appear time to time in the softwares your team have developed. So you have the better insight on it. You will go back and ask your programmers why this has happened. Let's fix this issue so it doesn't happen to us in the future. So fixing the issue is not just one thing. Making that it does not happen again is another approach that you need to take. Okay? As an IT or software developer, if you have made a program that will take the user first name, last name, email address, and the telephone number, let's say, and let's say I was giving the example of Gmail yesterday, right? I was giving some example of Gmail yesterday. Let's say in Gmail, you go and create a new Gmail account. What is the first thing that you do? You give your first name, you give your last name, you give your date of birth, and all those other things, right? What if I go to Gmail and I create my account without giving my first name and last name? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing, because let's say if I am the system analyst of that team, which is making this software that people can come and create a Gmail account on there. I have left a loophole, and I as a program, the team that is working under me is also left a loophole without telling me that somebody can come onto this website and register themselves with their new email address without giving first name and last name. So once, let's say, we found out that this is happening in our system, we should first stop it. Ask the programmer to add a star on top of the first name, so that when the user visiting our web page, he or she must know that the email address should have a first name and the last name and the date of birth, right? All those things. So star will let the user know that they have to enter that. What has happened in the past is the thing of the past. You have to go on and fix the data that has happened in the past. So let's say 500 people have created the account, out of which 100 people have registered without first name and last name. Now there's a problem in the data. Who will fix the data? And I'm using the word data. Why data? Gaps like these in the data are problematic for the data analyst. Okay? Because now we have a data. Part of the data is okay. Email addresses part is okay. The password part is okay. But the gap is where? In the first name and last name that the people are missing. Now, here's the issue. First, I need to make a stop of this, that it should not happen in the future. So I will go back to my programmers and say that add all the necessary conditions, add your if-else conditions, add your condition to the code wherever you need to go to, and add the condition in the technical document, add the condition in the manual as well, and add the condition in the help menu everywhere. And tell the users, if you are subscribing, you definitely need to have the first name and last name. Now what will happen to the previous guys? You will have to send out information package. Sorry, or whatever. Unfortunately, you need to go back to this and fill out those things. Until then, your account will be placed on hold. Right? So you are pushing people to fill up that gap. So those who have already created the account, now you are fixing those gaps. So you will see these fixings of data in SQL and other branches of data that you will deal with. You will have to fill up the gaps, right? Um, what you will see a lot of gaps in the data, but you cannot fix all of the data. But the things that you are seeing that are potential problem to the data, you will not need to fix those issues. So what if I would be a business analyst, and if I would have told my teams and the programmers that when you are creating this Gmail web page where people will come and create their accounts, in the very first place, if they would have created this as a mandatory field, would that have happened? No, because right from the first person go, everybody will have the first name and last name. So it means, where did the business analyst lag? He lagged in the planning, right? He has not, he has overlooked it. So let's say that same business analyst is starting a new project, want to create a Hotmail, you want to ask people to create an Hotmail account now, and he forgot to mention that I should tell my programmer that it has happened in the past project when we were working on the Gmail account creation project, that everyone should have first name and last name. Same thing, he forgot about that, and then problem when he started working on a new project for a new company, let's say for Hotmail, people went on and created 500 accounts again without the first name and last name. So it's a catastrophic effect that he's overlooking it, or he's not thinking it, or he's properly planning. That is why the word came as plan. So you have to plan what are the best practices that you should need. So once you have learned the lesson that you need these fields, you keep those in your upcoming projects as well. Whether you work in company A, whether you work in company B, whether you work in company C, or you switch from one company to another very frequently, that's not my problem. But as a business analyst or business consultant, you are coming to the company, you need to focus on all these aspects, that I will do a comprehensive study. That's why I say, when you do a programming, do all 360 degree around it. Is it for every single field, for every single thing that you are developing, look at it as if you are not a programmer, you are just an ordinary user. How will ordinary user will treat this? They will treat it roughly. They will not treat it with your brain in mind, that, oh, I need to enter first name and last name. They can ignore as much as they can if you have not put it as a mandatory field, right? Because they might not provide you full name and details and date of birth and whatever. But if you make it mandatory, they have obligation to do it, because it's a mandatory. So you have to plan that way. And same thing, you have to ask your programmers for which you are managing the team, that say, this is what we want when we are developing this product. We don't want it to be ignored. So if you go from one company to another company, you take your values from one company to another company, right? That is why I mentioned about these parts. So strong analytical and critical thinking skill. Once you have developed that, you will not have a teacher on your head all the time saying that, hey, you are missing this, hey, you are missing this. You come with your own strong analytical thinking, critical thinking skill, that you are not missing those critical items that I'm just mentioning about the mandatory fields that I was mentioning. Because analysts perform on the business requirements into the project, they must have been must be a business savvy as well as technically competent. So you are acting as a liaison between the business users and the technical side. So my team has 5 programmers under me. I will not ask my programmer to interact with the business. I will be the only one going to the business. The reason being, I can tell you the story now. Let's come to the story. When I started working on programming, uh, I used to work in a company where I started as a kind of internee for 6 months, right? And I said, okay, Kashan, you have to do this project. It will be a let's go to this company. Oh, wow, wow, this is a big company. Let's go there, start working on it. I know programming a little bit at that time, very basic level programming. So I said, okay, maybe I'll start working on this and try this. I have a book, and I don't have YouTube or anything or YouTube resources. I just have a book. So I opened up the book and started typing that. I wish I would have YouTube at that time. But I started typing and then say, okay, I worked on something and I have one screen ready for my client, or a couple of screen ready for my clients, and I went on and show them this is how you're gonna do it. So the person that who was managing that project, there were multiple people managing that project. So what does that mean? Too many people spoil the food, right? I made something, I showed something, then comes a person from X department and say that, can you do this and do this and do this and add this? Okay, okay, I'll do this. Thank you. I'll do this. I'll go back home and I do some coding, and I did that and I showed them. Then the person from Y department comes in and say, can you do this? Can you add this? Can you add this? Can you add this? I went on and did this. I kept doing it for the next 6 months. Why? I realized at that time I was not thinking about these, because I was thinking, okay, so it's a job. I will get some exposure. I will have something to write on my resume. 6 months have passed by adding and deleting and adding and removing and adding and updating and all these things happening. My code was mess, because what was missing? Clear set of requirements was missing. Clear set of planning was missing, right? So see where it was coming from. I was just a mere programmer. The directions were coming from the business. So business has to be clear what they want. For them to come to you and say to you, they will think of you as a car mechanic and say that, can you fix this light, or can you fix this battery? Or it does not work like that in field of IT. One change means, one small change could have a big impact on the whole thing or the whole code that you have written. You have started writing a code in this direction, but they are coming after 6 months from this direction. What will happen? You will have to throw all your code, all your effort that you have done in this direction, that has to be thrown out, and you have to start from where? From the other direction. So there has to be an agreement between the business and the IT, that this is how the things will work. Give me the clear requirements, give me the clear prototypes, give me the clear skeleton of what you want. Without that, if I'll develop something, you may or may not like it. And then we will have wasted time and money for all of us. right? So that is why we say strong critical thinking and analytical strength. If you have leakage, stop right there, right? That's what I mean to say. Most companies assign system analyst to the IT department, but analysis can also be can also report to a specific user such as marketing area or marketing department, sales department, accounting department. As a member of the functional team, an analyst is better able to understand the needs of that group and how IT supports it. As I said, he will be the lone person standing between the IT team and the business team. Business will give the requirement to him. He is the one who is responsible to give the clear requirements to his team, saying that this is how it's going to be done. And if he's not sure of something, he will go back to the business and ask the question: we are doing this, agree or not? Or these are some of our options. Which option you want to choose? This is how I'm going to do it. If they say choose second or third or fourth option, go back to your programmer and tell them. But if you are unsure, don't proceed, because if you proceed, they might ask you to change. Oh, this is not we want. We wanted to go with option one, but it's too late for you to decide by then. So reading will continue for you guys. I have given you enough blah 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 and talks. So now you can start looking at systems. So you are looking at the systems as a whole, not a single program. Remember, yesterday I started working with the table of two programs. We are not we are not that mind anymore. We are thinking of a systems, how we will develop system. So pages are rolling over now. Hardware, you already know. System, semester number 1 course, you know what is hardware. Keep moving. Software, you now know what is software. Data, processes. I'll stop here a little bit. What is processes? That describes the task, the business functions that users, managers, and IT staff. So processes is not just for one person. Processes is for the department of the company. What? Okay, so if I'm sending somebody out to Fort McMurray for oil and gas company, mostly they are, right? I need to have them taken their first aid, right? Have taken their safety courses, first aid courses, and all that. Without that, should I dispatch them to that area? No, because it's a requirement of the business. It's a process that they have to go through. If I can drive the car in Canada without my driving license, or in any other country, no. The process has to be there, that somebody has to pass the test. He has to go through that process, and then he will be able to hit the road. And then there's another process that they have to pass another license to hit the highway. Right? So there is a process that has to go through. So that is what it is called. So IT processes have to be clear as well, that if this process is not completed, the other process will not trigger. One process trigger another process. All the requirements have to be. So the result. So IT staff member performs the specific result. Processes are the building blocks of the information system because they represent the actual day-to-day business operations. To provide to build a successful information system, analyst must understand the business process and document. If he does not understand the processes, he might trigger process B prior to process B or process A. It has to be in the sequence. Process A has to be completed first, then process B, then process C, then process D, right? So it has to be in the sequence. If he does not know the business, then he might give you the wrong advice. Data breaches comes to what? Cybersecurity. As I'm moving along, you guys have to read all this. I don't know why I'm not able to do it a full screen. I'm still stuck with this side of the left side, but I don't have a full screen. So If you guys figure it out, let me know, but I'm not able to figure out. I'm not going to do that as well. Let's make it F11 to make a full screen. That's the best I can do. The internet model, the e-commerce model. Can you give me some example of most popular e-commerce model? What are e-commerce models? Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, EGG. They are e-commerce platform. Okay, let's bring a scenario. Sometimes I will roll over and sometimes I will go to the practical business example. I will not go into the book sometimes. So I will just roll over for you guys and leave the chapter for you to do. If I'm running an Amazon, let's say I store on Amazon. I have only one TV left in my inventory. Okay, two people logged in. Two people logged in from their home, and I'm the owner of that Amazon business store. Two people logged in, or Shopify, whichever you call it. If somebody adds that TV into the cart, right? That TV that was only one remaining in the inventory, if somebody else has logged in from their Amazon account, should they be able to see that TV or no? The TV is still in the inventory. Somebody has added to their cart. So two people logged in and they want to purchase that TV. One person has already added to their cart. The second, the credit card payment has not been made. It should show or not show? Okay. So then what is the problem? I added to my cart and you added and the other person added to their cart. There is only one TV. Huh? Not yet. So, so okay. So the delusion is now TV is added to my cart. There was only one TV remaining. One TV remaining in the inventory. One person is added, and the second person is also added to that. I went on and do some other shopping. I want to buy another cell phone, and I want to buy another cell phone case or AirPods or whatever. I came. Now I'm ready to place the order. Second person is also ready to place the order.
Whoever pays first gets the TV.
Yeah, but it is added to the cart of the second person as well.
Yeah, but it's not yet off the inventory.
So you are so the thing is, if it is added to the cart, you actually lied to your customer that it is available because you added to the inventory. You should not have even added to their inventory in the first place if somebody has already added it. Okay, so think about that. You go to Walmart, you want to purchase a TV. There's only one TV. You add it to your cart.
Physically?
Physically.
Oh, yeah.
So now take the scenario to the physical part.
Yeah.
Would you snatch it from their cart and put it into the other cart, or you keep snatching back between this my TV, is my TV, is my TV, is my TV? Right? You will not do that. So once you allocate, so the same thing should apply in the online business as well. Once it is being added to somebody's cart, it should not be able to be added to other cart, regardless whether they purchase it or not. If I go to the checkout of the Walmart and leave it at the counter, I'm not going to purchase the TV. That's story.
But right now, most of the online shopping, even like booking of the tickets, it will not be off.
Okay, now that brings the other question. That's a analyst part comes in. Once you add it to the cart, you give some timeline to that person that you have. When you book it on the timeline, okay, let's look at that. I was booking the ticket as well. I was working on the tickets when I will be traveling, right? So when you go and purchase and you like a ticket, you like that ticket, that's a good price. I want to purchase that ticket. Once you click on that and ready for booking and make for after reservation, it says that you have 5 minutes to pay for this, or 1 or 24 hours to pay for this. Otherwise, this will be released and put back to the available seats in the plane. So you have to have a logic built in your website or on your e-commerce that if somebody has added something to their cart or the reservation, they have certain time limits before the do. That is why when you go online on your TD Bank or any other website, sometimes you see that if you logged in and go out to the coffee and comes back, it says, "Are you still there? We are logging you out because of the security of the session." Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Why it does that? Because it does not keep you allocated, first of all, for security reasons for sure, but it does not want to keep the resources allocated to that server. Because think of it, there are thousands of customers for TD or CIBC or any other bank. There are a lot of people logged in to the TD Bank server, right? Once you enter your username and password, what happens? You actually have created a connection through your internet browser to the TD server or your banking server. Should it let you connect it to the server for 24/7 or 7 days a week until you disconnect it, or it will let you disconnect for security reason and to leave the resources on the server as well, because you allocated some resources on the server when you are connected. When you have created a session with the banking channel, you have created a session with them. They are providing you an online service, but that service is not meant for whole of your lifetime. And you go to coffee and you go to your lunch and you go to your meet your friend and you come back, your session is still alive. No, it does not work that way. Same thing. So when you assign it to the card, keep them assigned until they are shopping. If they decided not to purchase it, it will throw it back to the main inventory.
But it will also affect um, the business, right? Like for example, there's two.
It's a business problem. They have to solve it. They have to keep it more inventory. Now it's not your problem. You as an IT, you have to just think about the IT side of things. When the thing has happened, when there's only one TV remaining, business should order, or somebody who has the responsibility to keep the inventory to a level that we have at least 5 TVs. There should be a reorder point from the actual vendors, right? That if it goes below 5 TV, we should order 10 more. But that's a business they have to take care of. You as a programmer, when you are developing this e-commerce website, you make sure that what if we run into this situation where we have only one TV remaining, how we will going to be dealing with that situation, right? So that's an internet model or e-commerce model. So business to consumer, using the internet, consumer can go online and purchase an enormous variety of the products and services. So what is this business to consumer? I go onto a business website and purchase their products that they are selling. This is business to consumer. Then you might ask, say, C2C. What is the example of C2C? This is B2C. If I say consumer to consumer, what is that model? Yeah, KGG marketplace or consumer to consumer. It's for you to read. This page is for you to read now. B2C, what is B2C? Business is selling products. You are either they are selling products or either they are providing the service. B2B, business to business. This is a big one. Two businesses are interacting with each other. And there's a word here called EDI. What is that? Old word comes in new meanings. But What is EDI? Difficult one. Okay, business to business. One business wants to acquire the service of another business, understandable. But one business is dependent on another business. For example, think of it. iPhone and Samsung chips are made in China. There is a business or the industry in China that is making those chips and ICs for iPhones and phones, right? If there is a company in the China that does not have enough inventory of the chips remaining, what will happen? Will they be able to produce, mass produce iPhones, or the production of iPhone will go down? They will go down. So business to business relate with each other as well. Is that we don't know about it because we are not in that market. Yeah, they are system. Sometimes I can tell you, sometimes business call each other and say required, we need 500 jackets for our employees. Let's say they want to distribute winter jackets, right? Or something like that. I'll just give you random example from my previous experiences. So I'll just keep yourself up to date with that. But so let's say if the business wants to interact with another business, now I'm coming to this definition of EDI, electronic data interchange. What does that mean? I worked with this EDI program one time where usually business pick up the phone and the business other person on the other business pick up the phone. They said, I want this many. He said, this many are placed. You are good to go. Done. We'll ship your order to you. Sometimes businesses are communicating with each other on daily basis or monthly basis or weekly basis. Would it be feasible for them to have two resources allocated on phone for hours with each other, talking to each other? This is how much I want. 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 Can they streamline that processes as well without involving people? So one system will send the data, other system will receive the data, and it will be out of the warehouse, shipped to the client without even interacting a single person. That is called electronic data interchange. That is an automated process. That is an automated process where it will see I have only 5 TVs remaining in the inventory. Nobody has to call. Reorder point has appeared. System will automatically check. If the reorder point variable value is down to 5, send the value, send a new invoice or send a new inventory request to the vendor. Vendor will receive it in their system. It says 5 orders. Somebody at the picking store or some robots at the picking store will pick up those and then ship it out. No person involved. Everything artificially intelligently made. So EDI is what? Artificially intelligently managing your orders. But this is a very high level. It does not usually happen when you are using C2C or yeah, B2C. It doesn't. Feasible for B2B because they are giants, they have money, they can streamline those processes, so nobody has to worry about that.